Farrell, are you familiar with the song Brenda's Got a Baby by Tupac?
Yeah. Well, not super familiar. Like, I've heard it many a time, but I'm not sure I remember any of the lyrics.
So I just saw this thing on it recently where... So he was filming Juice at the time.
Okay.
And was reading the newspaper. Apparently he was like an avid newspaper reader. His mother raised him like on like reading newspapers, and he would even quiz him on newspaper stuff. So he was an avid newspaper reader. And the mother, the article that he was reading was about a person in Brooklyn in some housing project who 12-year-old girl got raped by her cousin. Hid the pregnancy from the family, had the baby like on the bathroom floor, took the baby, wrapped it up in a like Odd Lot bag, like plastic grocery bag, tossed it down the trash chute of the apartment building, landed in the dumpster. Somebody else heard the baby screaming, rescued the baby from the dumpster, and I guess turned it into the state because it went up for adoption. The baby was adopted. The family moved to Vegas. The baby was raised in Vegas, apparently. Anyway, this guy was like
gambling addiction.
This guy was already beat the odds in many ways. This guy was writing a book on Tupac. Came across this, that song, and started doing research. Contacted somebody from Ancestry.com who they had like a personal relationship with. Found this person's family. Like biological family, contacted them. They were interested in reunited them with the biological family, but the mother was kind of ostracized from. Reached back out to the same person at Ancestry.com, found the mother and contacted the mother. The mother called him immediately and was like, I think about this kid all the time. Do you have any idea? Blah, 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 blah. And he's like, I do. Where do you live? And she's like, I live in Newark, but I'm currently in Las Vegas. I'm actually here for a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert. And he was like,
the Chili Peppers is crazy.
I know. And he was like, well, your child lives in Vegas, and reunited them that night. And they like have a relationship now of sorts.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like he pushed her down the steps.
No. But I thought that was like crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah. Brenda's got a baby, but Brenda's barely got a brain. A damn shame. The girl can hardly spell her name. That's not her problem. That's up to Brenda's family. Well, let me show you how it affects her whole community. And then it goes in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I thought that was peculiar.
It's peculiar.
It's just Farrell and I today, folks. The Nerd Rage giveth and Nerd Rage taketh away. We gave you 4 last week, and then we're having it this week, but that's fine. That's the way it goes. Joey was only available on Friday. That's the only day this week I couldn't do. And then the night that we recorded, I wrote in the Nerd Rage business chat, hey, anybody got availability Thursday morning at 10 a.m.? Never hit send. So... thinking in my head, I got caught up thinking it was Wednesday somehow.
Yeah, because you sent out the see you tomorrow.
Yeah, reached out to Jordan W. and I was like, hey, can you do Wednesday? And I think he may have even rearranged his schedule. And he was like, yep, can do. Then I was like, perfect. And then I sent him the notes, and I sent the Nerd Rage chat the notes, and I was like, see you tomorrow at 10. And they're like, Thursday, right? And I was like, fuck.
Yeah, because I was in Indianapolis, and I was like, well, it's going to be tough.
It's going to be tight. I do have a few things in my Nerd Week, though. And this is the Halloween show. This will come out the day before Halloween. So maybe we'll do some Halloween.
Wait, the day before Halloween's next Friday. And
this will come out publicly next Thursday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Mondays for the cool Patreon.
Yeah, for the people that aren't peasants.
Yeah.
So anyway, Farrell, I got my coffee first. How was your Nerd Week?
So I was in Indianapolis, left Sunday, flew out there for a specialized sales training, which was really interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
So this is stuff that I don't normally do, like super specialized kind of equipment. Mm-hmm. So the team that my parent company or my parent, great grandparent, whatever fucking version of that,
right.
That they went with, a lot of really good dudes doing the training, but there was a couple that fit right in with with like the type of person in that special world that I don't like.
Oh, okay.
The ones that have like every chart memorized and like they want to quiz you on it and they're just measuring dicks the whole time.
Yep.
Right. So, like what angle?
Yeah.
And you're like, I mean, I don't know, this to this. And they're like, close. And you're like, go fuck yourself.
That is like, that does come down to like a power complex, doesn't it? Right. Because it's like knowledge is power and they're like hovering that over you. I feel like.
Yeah. And so like, and they give out these like resource guides and the resource guide is 220 pages in like a little 4x8,
okay,
like spiral bound thing, and it's laminated and everything. I mean, so it's a large book. Like it takes up your whole cargo pocket, and they do it, and like in the very first morning, they're like, hey, look, all these kind of like technical guides exist because there's so much information you can't memorize it all, right? So like they're like, don't even try. Like if you've got something that you definitely know, cool. But you know what? Look at the book and double check. Like that's what it's there for.
Yeah. There's
right?
information that you should know and information you should know where to look up.
Right. And they're like, and don't think, oh, I remember this being, 30. Double check it.
Yeah.
Because if it's supposed to be 25, you're really going to get fucked up by this.
Yeah.
So then 5 minutes later, this instructor is just like, who doesn't know any, like, come on, we just went over this. Like, so, but yeah, it was like 2 really long days of like hands-on training with the equipment. Way less classroom stuff than I was expecting. I would have liked a little bit more classroom just because this is stuff that I don't do on a regular basis. So, but then the hands-on was welcome too. So it's kind of like, I don't know, any more than days of this trip would have been too much. Right.
Right.
So yeah, so it was in Indiana, which is probably my least favorite state of the union.
And you go there quite frequently.
Like twice a fucking year, 3 times a year. And every single time it's the food that kills me. Right. So like after the second dinner, I was like, I don't want to eat the rest of this trip because everything sucks and you just feel like shit after eating it. Even the breakfast. How do you fuck up breakfast?
I've only been to Indianapolis once. I had a great time, but I didn't have a whole lot of the food.
Yeah. So, and like after the class, a bunch of networking at the hotel. And so it's like kind of forced in that whole, I was like, I would rather just like walk over to the Chipotle and get something that I know is going to be decent. Like, oh no, we're going to stay at the hotel and have dinner as a group. And like, great.
Yeah. Now I have to eat this bullshit.
Yeah. And then I feel like ass. Drank a ton of beer. Didn't pay for any of it. So that's fun.
That's always a bonus.
Yeah. Let's see. I finished Peacemaker season 2. Have you gotten there yet?
I haven't.
So I did enjoy the. I was told that the twist at the end was good, and I thought I knew where we were going with it, and then I was wrong. So that was a welcome.
Yeah. That's always better when it works out that way.
And the thing that I thought was going to happen, I'm hoping that gets put into season 3 in some way. So I don't want to spoil it for you, but
okay.
So I watched. I think I only watched one other movie, and it was an old movie, The Bucket List.
I've seen that.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that.
Yeah, so
It's been a long time, but I have seen it.
Yeah, it was one of the Southwest free movies thing. And I'd like finished watching Peacemaker. I'm trying to get into what is it called? It's one of those it's the HBO show that's out there right now that people like The Heist or The Crew or something.
I haven't even. I'm so out of the loop.
Yeah.
I am. I hesitate to say this out loud because I'm not sure if I want people to know it, because once people know it, then the recommendations come. Mm-hmm. I have Netflix. I currently have Netflix.
How the fuck did that happen?
So, my baby won this Matilda role, or she not auditioned for it and got this Matilda role. So my wife
earned it.
That's right, goddamn right. And dude, she's already singing the songs and shit, and it's so fucking funny because she's like doing it in the accent and everything. It's good to be a little bit naughty. So my wife wanted her to see the movie to have like a rough understanding of the story and characters.
The original.
So I don't know if it's the original or not, but she wanted her to see this movie, and it was only available on Netflix. So we got it for a month. We only have it for a month, and then it goes away again. I am going to watch. There's a couple of things I'm going to watch while I have it. I'm going to watch that Scorsese doc that's on there. And I'm going to watch, there's actually another documentary I just heard about that I want to watch. It was about a police woman that was in an apartment building and complaining about kids or something that were like above her.
A woman complaining? Wow.
Say it ain't
the fucking original.
A real page turner.
God damn.
But
how
anyway,
did they come up with that idea?
She ended up shooting the mom.
Wow.
I think, she killed the mother. I think she wanted to kill the kids, but she ended up killing the mother. But the whole documentary, from my understanding, is told with like webcam footage and security cam footage. Like there's no talking heads. It's just, cool. Yeah. So I want to give that a shot, and I want to watch that, whatever the killer thing is it Gacy? Who the fuck knows? There's like
there's a bunch of them.
Yeah. Whatever that.
Depending on how long it's been since you've had Netflix.
It's been so I got rid of it before the Dahmer show because I watched the Dahmer show when I was hanging out in Glenwood with some people I know.
Yeah.
We had all the time in the world and watched the whole thing.
It's not a happening spot.
Nah, it's a chill spot.
Yeah, real
kick
relaxed.
Kick your feet up.
So Task is the name of that show.
Okay.
So like I keep trying it. I don't know what it is. I think it might be the writing, because at first I thought it was the acting, but most of the actors in there I've seen before and I like, and so I don't know what it is, but there's just something where it just feels, the weird YouTube videos that are coming out now, where it almost is like designed for like shut-in kids of like, here's how you interact with people, and it all just feels
that is weird though.
Yeah, it almost feels like robotic and like
yeah.
I'm like, this person doesn't exist like that.
Right.
So that's just how I feel when I watch Task, and it's not the storyline; it's just
the acting,
the conversations where I'm like,
the dialogue.
It doesn't feel right.
It's interesting.
It's kind of like it throws me off. It keeps me from getting into it. So I tried watching that, and then I said, fuck it. So I watched The Bucket List instead. And I like a good movie about people coming to terms with death.
Yeah. I remember it being, good.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Fine.
Yeah.
So like other than that, like the trip out there was fine. Whatever, the food sucks. Coming back, it's like kind of a tight window. We were supposed to take off at like 2:30 or something like that, and
same time my dentist appointment.
Yeah, 2:30, and it was like, okay, well, we're gonna land just after 4:30, and I had somewhere to be at 5:30. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be a little bit tight, and then like in the Uber to the airport in Indianapolis, like I'm getting alerts like, hey, your flight's been delayed. I'm like, fuck. So I look at it, it's like 3 minutes. I'm like, no big deal.
Yeah.
Right. Get there. We're up at the gate or whatever. And they're like, hey, it's a couple minutes behind. It's now going to be 15 minutes late. We're like, okay, it's fine. We're going to make it. The people deplane, and then we board. Which wouldn't we plane if it was deplane?
Yeah, you would think so.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked me up.
Yeah.
So we board,
or at least deboard.
Right.
Yeah.
And then get, pull away from the thing, move over to the runway. I've got a weird feedback. And then the pilot comes on, and says that there's a light on in the cockpit that shouldn't be, like a warning light. And they normally are able to reset it on their own, but it's not working to reset it. So they're going to have a mechanic come out. He's like, it should be like 10 minutes. So like the plane turns, goes down some other jetway, and then pulls up into this area. You know, this vehicle drives over with the fucking the
staircase.
The guy comes on. They go up in the front. They've got the cockpit door open so you can see, and he's in there working on it. And then he goes out, and I'm like kind of like looking out the window, and I can see him like on some scissor lift underneath, like doing something. And then the pilot comes back on. He's like, couple more minutes. Shouldn't be a big deal. We're still working on it. 15 minutes, another 15 minutes. You know, people are coming. Another truck comes over. Another truck comes over. You know, it's like 90 minutes now that we've been sitting on this fucking thing.
Fucking torture.
And I'm just like, oh, man, like this is going to be bad if we have to like deplane, wait for some other fucking plane to come over. And
again.
And then the fucking, one of the pilots is going to be out of time.
Right. Get timed out.
They get timed out, and then we have to wait for some other, you know,
happened to me at Denver.
To fucking come over.
Awful.
Or a flight attendant is like, well, I'm banging out sick the rest of the shift, and we have to wait for. So that doesn't happen. He's like, okay, we're good to go, and we start taking off, and it's the weather was progressively getting worse while I was out there, and now it's windy as fuck. And just like the roughest takeoff I've been on in a while, right? And everybody around me is like white knuckle right?
Like quiet as fuck.
And I'm just smiling like this.
Here,
fucking crash this motherfucker
it's happening.
Right now. God damn it.
It's happening.
I just want to be involved in like the greatest air disasters episode ever. That's all I want. You know, and if it happens before Thailand, so be it.
It's a bummer.
You know, it's what's in the cards. So the Instagram for Feral in Thailand is starting to get some followers.
Nice.
I think last check was like 30.
Nice.
And that all came out of nowhere. And then some interesting people started following it that I have to, I think I have to broach the subject of, do I message them and say like, hey, you know me from this other world. If you'd like to follow my real Instagram, that's what this is.
Right.
This one, I'm not sure you're ready
for just how deplorable I really am.
So I don't know how to do that without being like, hey, if you're okay with seeing my cock and some ladyboy's cock, keep following this.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we're going to do that. I might just block those people and then like friend them from my personal one and say, hey, that was a gag account or something, without being too forward with what the content might be.
Yeah. You got to start when you start, you got to start rolling it out. Like, you know, as you like pick your flight, you know, be like flight booked, you know, you got to like start rolling it out, you know, turn it into a thing.
Yeah. It's going to be,
so when you start packing, go live, packing up your suitcases.
Well, that's going to be like the night before.
Yeah, I know. But still.
I'm taking like 2 pairs of shorts, like I'm buying everything there. And I'm leaving everything there too.
Perfect.
Like that shit ain't coming back with me. But yeah, I've been looking at like how to hype it up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, just got to keep teasing it,
yeah,
rolling it
take
out.
a page out of Sleep Token. You know. Like
yeah.
Stuff,
start laying some puzzles.
Yeah. Meet me over at BWI. But I think that's about it. I mean, like, I played bingo on Saturday night.
Nice.
Right.
That's things all young people do.
Yeah. So, ended up working Saturday morning, and then because I was flying out Sunday morning, I was like, I don't really want to go out to the bars and get stupid and then be hungover for this fucking trip. So like, and a friend of mine was like, hey, they're doing bingo over at the hall. Like, do you just want to do that? We can have like a drink or two and just kind of low key it up. I was like, that's perfect. So then I lost $260 playing bingo. So not exactly how I saw my Saturday going. I was thinking about just spreading democracy. But, you know, instead we played bingo and lost, but that was fun. Except for the amount of like, so who, like, there's like 2 or 3 people there that I'm not sure they know how to smoke a cigarette.
I know the type.
Right? Like, how do you come back from a fresh cigarette that you just smoked, but you smell like the 5-day-old cigarette butt?
Yeah.
Like, do they have it backwards? They're smoking the filter?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the fuck was going on with that. But
Dude, I'll tell you, like, you know, like, if for anybody listening, like, you shouldn't smoke. You should never start smoking. It's impossible to stop. And
it's really hard.
It's blah, 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 but all those things. But I've never met cooler fucking people. Like, when I think about, like, what cigarettes did for me socially in a way, not that it made me a better social person, but just that, like, when I was in college and there was like a break in class and like you go outside to smoke, like it was usually all the kids that were in that college class that went outside to smoke that ended up being the coolest fucking kids in the class, you know? And the same thing went for like, you know, bullshit jobs where you take like a smoke break or whatever. It was like, oh, these motherfuckers are cool as shit. It's like it ends up, like, you know, you really do endure it all together. You know, like it's raining, you're locked in.
Yeah.
It's snowing, you're locked in. And like when you finish, you sit there and you wait for the other person to finish so that you don't leave your brother outside in the fucking snow.
I wish that I had been around in like the 50s when you could smoke everywhere inside.
I don't know. I don't know if I do or don't.
Just to see how that was different.
Yeah.
You know, because like I remember being in some old military buildings where there was ashtrays in the wall.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean,
little tiny.
I still remember getting on airplanes and seeing ashtrays in the armrests.
Yeah, I remember those.
And cars with the little like click button ashtray, like little silver box ashtray. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and then you get in the station wagon. They got like the family size one, like the whole fucking tray pulls out. And you're like, God damn, we
fun for the whole family.
40 fucking cigarette butts in this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just this. I can't believe I used to smoke because of how much I hate the smell of stale cigarettes. I still enjoy a waft of a
freshly lit cigarette, same.
But like the staleness one, I'm like, ugh.
Or you go into a house where it's
where they smoke inside?
Yeah, it's like, oh my
terrible.
God. Which even then, that was never in the plan for me.
Oh, I was an inside smoker.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind being an inside smoker at your house, but we weren't going to do that shit at my house.
Oh yeah, and so it started like my first real apartment. It started as like in a room. So we had like
the smoking room.
Yeah, we had a 3-bedroom apartment, just happenstance. Like we had tried to get a 2-bedroom, right? And they signed an agreement for a 2-bedroom, and they're like, it's a 3. And we're like, well, we're not fucking. We'll break the lease, go find a different one.
Right.
They were like, no, just. So the 3rd bedroom was the smoking room, and that was cool for a bit. Until some of us broke the rules and started smoking in the fucking
it's a slippery slope.
Living room. And it's just like when it starts in your garage.
Yeah.
And then it's super cold out in the garage. And you're like, yeah, we can smoke in the kitchen. Just turn the fan on and open this. And next thing you know, I'm just running upstairs real quick.
Yep. Nope. I never I was dead set. I mean, I started smoking, you know, probably like off and on around like 15, 16.
Well, I was young.
Yeah.
I was real young. I was like 12 or 13.
Oh, wow. And then like it was really just something that we did in the bathrooms at school, and it gave me something to look forward to at school.
Right.
And then when I was at the World, everybody smoked at the World. So it was like
inside the World.
And oh my God,
yeah.
And so like it was nonstop all the time. Like
and
you know, and then
fucking like ash all over the coffee table.
Yeah. And you know, and then before
beers like sweating onto it, and it's just like a mud now.
Yeah.
Like,
and then like soda bottles with just a little bit left in it. Now you got 2 or 3 cigarette butts in there. Like it just becomes a fucking disaster, you know? And then but I never smoked in my own house. I was just like, man, because of the World. I was like, man, I know how this story ends.
Yeah. And like for me, it was like the first apartment, like I wasn't planning on being there long. I think we were there for a year.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like, fuck it. But then I wasn't thinking then, because like I ended up throwing away that fucking furniture. I mean, we didn't have much. We had like hand-me-down shit, you know, flea market stuff. But it's like, man, I kind of like that couch. And then you're like, it's going to take like $1,000 to clean this.
Yeah.
Like the fucking grossness off it.
Yeah, and I started vaping probably between 2013 2014. Like it was shortly after my job moved locations because I took it as we were at one location, we moved to another location, and the old location, there's certain spots you smoke in those spots. Those are your smoking spots. You sit right there, you look at that horizon, you smoke a cigarette right there. Like, and when I got to the new spot, I was like, man, this is an opportunity to break ritual, and create new rituals and new, it was shortly after my work changed locations that I started vaping.
So for me, it was like 2013 also, but that's like when I got out of the military and I was still smoking. And like when I was in and we were running 15 miles a week,
right?
I didn't notice that like lung function goes down.
Right.
And then once I stopped running, I was like, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah, no shit.
Then it was like going up the steps to be like,
yeah.
Like, this is fucking terrible, man. I'm like 30. Like, fuck. So I was like, I'm gonna go find some way to quit. And like, I think I did like a not like the January 1st, but like the first week of January, where I just decided like that's the last cigarette I'm gonna have. And then I tried not having any nicotine for like a week. And I just got angrier and angrier. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
We got to go find something that'll.
Yeah. When that electronic cigarette shit started, I was like, look, I am going to give this a fair shot.
Yeah.
And because they always say, like, when you're a smoker, you're always picking up this little bit of information to try to like take with you to like either justify it or when you go to like try to quit, whichever time you're trying to quit, you use it as like fuel to help you quit. So like one thing you always hear as a smoker is like the nicotine addiction is a 48-hour addiction. And then everything after that is habitual. So I was like, I'm going to vape or whatever, e-smoke at the time, for 48 hours.
Did you have the little cartomizer that you had to pull on that looked like a cigarette, the end lit up?
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I was like, I'm going to do this for 48 hours. I'm going to commit to this for 48 hours and then see where I'm at. And no bullshit, by the end of the 48 hours, I was done. Like I was done with cigarettes.
Yeah.
Like I still was very much addicted to nicotine, but I was done smoking cigarettes. And
right.
I could probably count on since then how many cigarettes I've smoked on one hand. Like, every now and then it'd be like a big dirty floor that needed to get cleaned and we'd mop that. And I'd be like, yeah, fuck it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was probably.
And I was a red smoker.
I was, so in high school, people used to joke, they'd be like, you're keeping these motherfuckers in business. I was a Marlboro Medium 100s.
Oh, I remember mediums. Yeah.
Marlboro Medium 100s were my go-to. And then, my dad used to smoke Benson and Hedges, so I would smoke a Benson and Hedge from now and again, and then I finally ended up in like white boy limbo with fucking Marlboro Lights, or these are Camel Lights or Marlboro Lights.
So like yeah, so like after I quit, every once in a while it'd be like a Marlboro Light just to bring it back for the night or something like that. A couple beers in, but every time I smoked after that, like I woke up feeling like shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like 3 or 4 cigarettes. Like woke up being like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, made the right decision to stop that shit.
Yeah, I had I smoked a fair amount of like Newports and shit because everybody in my neighborhood smoked Newports. And it was like when you're out, you'd be like, hey man, can I get one? So you end up smoking Newport. But I never liked the menthol.
Did I?
And I never took to it.
Did you ever smoke the 27s, the flavor?
Yeah, 100%.
Hell yeah.
NO 27?
Yeah.
100%. They were shorter. Were they shorter? Or no?
At first they came out, they were regular size, but then they went to the 72s.
Gotcha.
So they were 27s and 72 length.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, I remember, it was a big, I would plan shit around smoking. I'd be like, dude, I'm kind of wanting a cigarette right now, but it's an hour from lunch. If I make it to lunch, I'm getting ready to have a big lunch. And that one I have after lunch is going to feel
great.
Yeah. Coffee, lunch, alcohol, and sex in that order for me. Or coffee, food, alcohol, sex.
Yeah. And then the other thing was just how fucking expensive it all got. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, I remember being 17, 18, and like $20 would fill up your gas tank buy you a pack of cigarettes, and you'd still walk away with like $4 or $5.
Yeah. You get like chips and a Coke at least.
Yeah, like that's still when Subway footlongs were $5.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Or maybe $6 at that point. But now it's like, I'll take a pack of cigarettes, and they're like, that's $13.75.
Yeah.
And you're like,
And these eggs.
oh, these eggs. Yeah.
Dude, it's funny. I watched, I'll talk about it on Nerd Week a bit, but we watched Ghostbusters as a family. And with that scene when, whatever her name is, Sigourney Weaver's in her kitchen, and the eggs start popping out of the carton and cooking themselves on the counter, Jaina was like, in this economy?
I mean, to find automation like that is just fantastic, though.
You know, it's funny watching Ghostbusters, how like I was actually having moments in that movie where I was like, fuck, man, how did they do that? You know, like a thought that hasn't.
It all has to be real.
Yeah, like, and I was like, I don't like that thought hasn't crossed my mind in some time, but I was like, you know, it sounds like silly, but like when they're in that library scene in the very beginning of the movie, right, and a book travels from one shelf across the aisle into the other shelf, but stays like perfectly. You know, it doesn't like, it's not like it's on a string where it's like the weight is affecting it. It's like perfectly moving across. And I'm sitting there looking at it. I'm like, man, I don't know how they fucking did that. I'm sure it's simple little thing that I'm just but yeah, I can't.
It actually isn't a book. It's just painted to look like one.
Yeah, but I can't put it together in my head, you know? But little shit like that. And like some stuff like when those like Dewey Decimal cards like launch out of those, the shelving that they're in, and then the things start like shooting, the cards themselves start shooting out of them.
Yeah.
You know, my kid was like, how did they do that? And I was like, look, that wall on the other side of it is hollow. So there's people on the other side of that wall that have access to those shelves, and they're physically jutting those shelves out of the wall. And it's, you know what I mean? You just don't think of it. But like some shit, it's like, I was still like, it's cool to me, like thinking about it. But then there's some stuff I was like, man, I don't know 100%. But are you done, Nerdweez? Because I can get into mine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. So I guess I'll start with Ghostbusters. I actually watched a fair amount of media this week. Nothing really.
I can't remember the last time I saw the original Ghostbusters.
Dude, that motherfucking shit is so goddamn good. Like, I like just watching it again. I'm like, man, and I try not to be. I'm glad Joey's not here because I'd had to be up for a fight, and I'm just too tired to fight at the moment. I try not to be the old curmudgeon and just say, you know, it was better in my day. You know, like I still listen to current music. I fell in love with Pop Smoke. I fell in love with Sleep Token. Like I've still like. I think that stuff of today has value in different mediums, like reels and fucking memes and shit that I find interesting or entertaining. Podcasts that I'm like, man, this is really thought-provoking shit or whatever. YouTube creators where I'm like, holy fuck, like this is a whole documentary on the breaking down of the pagan traditions that may have led to the Garden of Eden story. Like, fuck, like people are making great shit. It's just not in Hollywood.
Well, so I've thought about this a couple times. And I have a theory right now that is just, so in order to get to the movie theater as a big blockbuster hit in the early 80s, it took a lot.
Yeah.
Right? So if something got made, regardless of the budget, and they decided, hey, this is not going to do well in theaters, and we don't really want to promote this super crazy and spend a lot more money on it. Because there was a ton of direct to VHS back then.
Oh, yeah.
So that might be why the big produced stuff and publicized stuff was all just a better quality. Because like enough people had to sign off on it and say this is a legitimate movie. And now it's just easier to make a huge movie, promote the shit out of it, and drop it straight to Netflix, and then we watch it and go, this is garbage.
Yeah.
Because it's not really that expensive for them to...
No. Yeah. And I think that's part of it, too, is that, like, you know, it used to be, like, you don't think of it as a kid because you're just living in that existence and seeing the good things. Like, the good things are what filters down to you most often. You know, your parents get news of it, and then they're like, all right, this is good.
Also, where do we find out about movies?
So I think it came from your parents or your friends.
No, like where do they find it?
Newspaper.
Right? Because like
Yeah, probably in the newspaper.
they weren't putting that shit on television. Like,
No.
they weren't running previews on.
No, I think it was newspaper, word of mouth. And then I guess like TV, like they still had movie trailers and shit that would show during TV slots, like of advertising.
Early 80s?
Yeah, but like, where like in a world, like, 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 those.
But I feel like even then, like enough people would have had to been like, this is worth the $20 million.
Well, I think that's probably why they ended up becoming kind of cultural phenomenons, like, but I was thinking like, watching Ghostbusters, I was like, this fucking thing is perfect. Like, it's fucking perfect. And then I was like, and fuck, you know what else is perfect? Back to the Future.
Yeah.
It's fucking perfect. And fucking Star Wars is fucking perfect. And like, I was like, man, I try not to be the old curmudgeon, but I'm like, man, I just don't think. And I think part of it, like you said, with budget is once a studio invested that much money into something, it got the cream of the crop, right? So you get the best writers, the best director, the best cinematographer, the best actors, the best editors. Like, you got it from top to bottom. So like when you have that much talent in one space, it's like, well, it's hard for it to fail. And now it's like, well, look, we don't have that kind of budget, and we can do the animations for fucking 20 cents. So look, we'll take an average director, average actor, good writer, and whatever. But they like have to pick and choose where they want the talent. But like that, like even those dynamic of those four characters, and like I wish that they could have brought Winston in a little bit earlier. But outside of that, like, so you've got the super nerdy scientist, you've got the super smart but like subject matter expert but kind of a doof scientist.
Yeah.
Then you have like the scientist that is kind of a scientist in name only. Right.
The ladies' man.
Yeah. And he's not really particularly talented with anything else. He's just a smooth talker and a hustler. And then you've got like this, like average Joe that is kind of the eyes of the audience in that movie, just your average guy that gets a part of this fucking organization. And then it's like in the midst of this, there's the love story, there's the supernatural, there's blah, 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 blah. And like, then I got to thinking about like the Ghostbusters.
And it's funny.
And it's funny as shit.
And it's not R-rated humor.
No.
But it's not super cheesy slapstick.
Correct.
PG.
So when Venkman is exploring the Sigourney Weaver's apartment the first time, where he's like, I better check it out, and he goes and he's like using the tool while walking around, and he goes into the bedroom, and she's like, that was never part of it. Nothing happened in there. Nothing happens in there. And he was like, what a crime. Yeah. And just keep, it's like these little fucking beats that are still so good. And when I was a kid, there was so much to laugh at. But like as I've gotten older, I'm just laughing at new, like,
different stuff.
Correct,
right? And so if you go back and look at like, and it's not even that old, but like the original Cars, I think there was a bunch of adult humor in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's just under the surface.
Yeah.
It's not over the top. It's not gross or dirty.
Yeah, Pixar's good at that kind of shit in general.
Yeah, but like I feel like recently when it's a kids show, it's 100% a kids show now. Mm-hmm. And like when you're sitting there watching that, like I don't have kids, but I've had friends that had kids. I've nieces and nephews, like that. And I'm like, I want to fucking kill myself.
Yeah.
If we have to watch this fucking movie again.
I often point to that first Turtles live action movie, which I also think is fucking perfect. But when he's like, when Donatello's like, they're all supposed to sleep in the sewer, and Casey Jones can't handle it, and Donatello says, "What are you, claustrophobic?" And Casey Jones says, "You making a joke? I never even looked at another dude." And it's like, as a kid, I was like, what the fuck? I didn't get it. But, as an adult, I'm like, that's fucking hysterical.
Right.
But anyway, I just think that like watching that shit, my kids are reacting to it. The music is right. Like, it's just such a fucking, it's such a moment, and like, I don't think that we get those anymore. Like those moments, Back to the Future is a moment. Star Wars is a moment. Ghostbusters is a moment. Like, Indiana Jones is a moment. It's like it's whatever it is, it becomes far bigger than what it is, and like I just don't think you get that. I was thinking about I was telling my kids that like I always had a plan for Ghostbusters 3, and obviously they've come out with the shit now where it's like Paul Rudd and whatever, and I've never seen any of those, and I've heard varying different reports as to whether or not they're good, and I don't really care. I'm not really that interested, but
Right.
but I was when we were watching it, Jana was like, "Didn't you say that you had an idea for Ghostbusters 3?" And I was like, "I did." And I've tied a few on at this point, and I'm like, gather around. Let me tell you what would have been the right Ghostbusters 3 move. And I was like, by the time I had come up with this, the one dude had already passed. Egon had already passed. And I was like, look, the way you do it is Egon dies. It opens with the funeral. And as a result, the Ghostbusters disband because he's just an integral part. Business has slowed way down since that guy from The Painting.
Yeah.
Viggo
Mortensen.
Yeah. Yeah, so things have slowed way down. So you don't have to worry about it too much. Egon passes. It's not the same without him. The 3 Ghostbusters disband, go try to live a normal life. In the midst of that, this cult arises that worships Zuul and Gozer and, the gatekeeper and all that. And like they start like having these like seances and, whatever rituals to try to bring back Gozer to complete the prophecy of Gozer. And as they do so, the ghosts start popping back up.
And then business would have been picking up, but they've disbanded.
So you do introduce a younger cast of characters that go to the old guard and are like, look, you guys got to come back. And they're like, nope, we're done. It was four in, 4 out. And eventually these guys are like, hey, pass it down to us.
Right. Tell us.
So they pass it down to them. You introduce 4 new characters that have the charisma, that have that are unique in their own way. They start fighting these ghosts, right? But as Gozer gets closer,
I think they start busting.
Yes. In that song, I always laugh. Busting makes me feel good. So Gozer starts getting closer to coming back. As Gozer gets closer to coming back, they are too inexperienced to fight that level of ghost. So they convince the old 3 to come back.
And they join together and work as a 7-some
to
defeat Gozer, and then the 4 now have experience.
So the old 3 come back, start trying to fight. They take some losses in dealing with Gozer. The new 4 start working with maybe police or whatever to start tackling the cult. So they go down that road to beat the cult. The Ghostbusters come up with a plan to defeat Gozer, the bringing back of Gozer, and the plan, they use the same plan that the fucking cult does, and they bring back Egon and they fucking defeat Gozer. End of story. And if you want to continue with Ghostbusters, you pick up with the new cast.
I like it.
It would have been a fucking move. And Jana was like, you should have been, I was like, but, oh well. Let's see what else I got in my nerd weeks. Oh, so Mushroom Jesus. So, shout out to Tyler, the collector. He came down, we recorded Thursday night. He came down bright and early Friday morning. And I don't think I was at 100%, but, he sat down, shared his thoughts. That story is on Patreon. You're welcome to check it out. He talks about like his Mormon upbringing and 3D printing, working at Foot Locker, dealing with celebrities and shit. Like, 'cause he was like an uppity up in Foot Locker, and pretty interesting guy. But in the midst of that, we were talking a lot about religion, being as though I have a complicated history with religion, and he obviously does as well. And he told me about this book that he was reading called The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross. Mm-hmm. So this book was published in 1978, and it was published by, I think, and I could be fucking up some of these details. I'm not as knowledgeable as Tyler, but I'm just talking about what's going on in my nerd week. I believe this dude was a linguist. He got hired to come in and work with the Dead Sea Scrolls. Shit that he read in the Dead Sea Scrolls made him kind of give up religion altogether. But then he started putting together pieces of evidence that he thinks, and I don't know if I subscribe to this. Actually, I'm pretty sure I do not. But it's interesting nonetheless, is that the whole Jesus story is a mushroom trip.
Well, I think his premise was that all religion is just a mushroom trip.
Yes.
And that's why they're, because like when people talk about being on mushrooms, they have similar experiences to some degree.
Sometimes.
And that's where you get the similar storylines in these different religions that were created in different parts of the world. And what some people that are that believe in the religion says is that, well, that's evidence that, this community never spoke with this community, yet they believe the same kind of thing, is that's God.
Yeah.
And then he was saying, well, no, that's the mushrooms.
Yeah.
So
he goes, like, what's interesting is when you start digging into it is the amount of like mushrooms that are in the art and shit of like old religious paintings and stuff. And it's like, and some of them are like super pronounced, but you just don't pay any attention to it. Like,
it's the same way, like you go out, you look at your lawn the next morning after it rains and you're like, there's a mushroom there. You're not like, where did that come from? You're just mushroom, and just brush right past it.
So like, there's this one, like, I mean, and there's many, but like, let me see if I can pull it up any. There's like, one where like, Jesus is like sitting on this throne and there's like mushrooms that are like just growing wild in front of them and they're all over the place, and there's multiple. So like, here's one. Here's crazy.
Yeah.
And like, and even like these like old stained glass, there's like these wild mushrooms like growing that they're like 6 feet tall, So anyway, it's I don't know if I buy into all of it, but I do think that it is interesting. And
or what about this one?
It's like Jesus with like a mushroom on his shirt, like a literal like
super Jesus mushroom.
But they were even saying how like the halo design looks like the underhead of a mushroom and all that shit. Like, it's just it was pretty fascinating.
So a lot of those things when people are like, it kind of look like, I'm like, yeah, well, once you say it, like that's how our minds work.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Just because, like, what was it? There is no such thing as purple. It's just blue and red, and your mind fills in the fucking gap.
I'm not buying that either.
I don't know, that's purple.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm looking right at it.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. So, watch some other media. We always watch these like Halloween shows around Halloween with the kids, and we watched Great Pumpkin.
Okay.
We watched the Garfield one, which is dark as fuck. But like, have you seen that one?
I don't think I have seen.
So they go
the Halloween special of Garfield.
Yeah. So they go trick or treating. Garfield and Odie somehow end up on a canoe. They go to this like island. On the island is this old scary man. Who
who else would be on the island?
Sure. And he's like,
is his name Jeffrey?
That's pretty good. So he's like hundreds of years ago, pirates, all this shit. Yeah. Anyway, like by the end, like this pirate ghost ship like attacks the island. The pirates are coming in. Garfield and Odie have to like make a run for it. They end up on a fucking boat, get back to the mainland. All is well, but it's just pretty fucked up. We watch I think it's called Witches Night Out, which is definitely like a like acid induced fucking Halloween special, but it's
what?
So there's all these people that live in this town are kind of just made up of general shapes. They don't look quite like humans.
Okay.
They're human-esque, but they don't look like you and I.
Like polygons?
Let me see if I can find a picture because it is hard to describe. But they also like there's a witch that clearly lives in town, and the witch is kind of has a mixed reputation in the community. And here we go. So there's some of the cast of characters.
Okay.
And anyway, they get the witch to come and make them, because I can't remember if
I'd watch that show.
Yeah, me too. I can't remember why they need to do it, but like I think that Halloween was going to be canceled for them or something. The witch comes down.
Old Hallows Eve?
Yes. And like grants them, like they say, like, what do you want to be? And one's like a wolf man, and one's a Frankenstein monster, and one's a ghost. And she like literally makes them into those things. Like, so it's not a costume. Correct. But then like at a certain point, they want to change back.
Of course.
And the witch is like, well, that's not really
Always
part of the
Halloween
plan.
now,
And the
motherfucker.
witch kind of just wants the party to keep going. And my kids are always like, whenever they watch the show, they're always like, which one is which? So like, they're like, the Wolfman is definitely Leia, and the ghost is Jaina, and the Frankenstein monster is Selena. And then they were like, which one is Daddy? And they were like, probably the guy that sounds like he's from Jersey, which is other. And I was like, no, it's not. No, it's not. And they were like, oh, Daddy's the witch. And I was like, I'm 100% the witch.
Yeah. The party keeps going.
Yeah, party keeps going. So we watched that. It was good, fun times. My wife hates it, but that's a part, kind of actually part of the fun at this point. And then we watched this other movie that it was like a 70s show. It was like a made for TV special where in this world, it's live action. And in this world, in order to make Halloween start, the witch needs to fly over the moon at midnight. And the witch is threatening to not do it this year. So Dracula...
With that lazy bitch.
I know. So Dracula has selfish, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Dracula has an emergency meeting and brings all the monsters to his house. There's the zombie, the mummy, the Frankenstein monster. Igor is there, but Igor kind of lives there. And invites the witch. And the witch shows up, and the witch has like a list of demands.
Yeah, because she wasn't doing anything anyway. She just wanted to be a bitch about it.
And her demands are like, look, she wants to be on all the merchandising. She wants to like whatever. She wants to go out disco dancing from time to time and all this type of shit. And Dracula's trying to convince her not to. Eventually, Dracula gives in.
Target every Saturday.
Dracula eventually.
How many potted plants can we put?
Yeah. How many plants can we kill? Dracula eventually concedes. She flies over. The Halloween continues. But what's also funny about it is like they're like on the news in Transylvania, and it's like somewhere in Transylvania, and it's like just a house, and it's like, oh no, these people are definitely not Transylvanian. They don't look Eastern European at all.
Right.
They look like they're from fucking Pennsylvania, and whatever. But it was something I watched as a kid, and we always watch this. So it was good. I do have a note in here about the Great Pumpkin. Sally is a bitch. She's a fucking bitch. She has no accountability for fucking anything.
So it's accurate.
Yeah.
It's a documentary.
Yeah. And then she says, at one point, I should have never listened to you, and shakes Charlie Brown. And that's assault. And she's a fucking bitch, and she's an awful person. I watching it, I was like, man, she is a terrible character. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, so we're watching Ghostbusters, and Leia says, "Poor Winston," and I laughed, and I was like, "Why poor Winston?" And she says, "Well, he just got the job and has to deal with all this."
It's kind of true, though.
Yeah,
but to be fair, the rest that was always the interesting thing is like they were just as shocked as everybody else to find out that they were real.
Yeah. Especially Venkman and Winston.
Yeah.
Like, I have seen things that'll turn your hair white. So Leia fancies herself quite the Christian, and like we don't. That she went to a Christian preschool because in where I live, you either have to be retarded or very, very poor to get into public preschool.
Okay.
In fact, we tried to get Jaina in on the retarded part because she was speech delayed and had a touch of the tism, And
like she just needs music.
Yeah. And so but she wasn't retarded enough. Like she still didn't get in. So you had to go to basically a private preschool if you want your kids to go to preschool, and you don't fit those other criteria. So they went to Christian preschool, all three of them. Mm-hmm. And
there's not a lot of non-Christian preschools.
Not around here.
Yeah.
So that's the only background that Leia has in religion, other than maybe it comes up in conversation topically around the house. But she prays. She's into God. She loves Jesus. She says it all the time. And I'm like, hey man, good for you. By all means. I always say, well, what do you pray about? She's like, that everybody has a good night's sleep. And I'm like, well, fuck, keep on keeping on. By all means. And
I wish she was praying a little harder last night.
So anyway, but she also likes to curse.
Yeah.
She's not allowed to curse yet. Well, in front of me. but she likes it. And her favorite curse word is motherfucker. It's
it's the best.
It's her favorite one. And I was like, well, as a Christian, you shouldn't be cursing. Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, why? And I was like, oh, it's like you're not supposed to. It's like, it's a sin and whatever. And she's like, well, I'll be a half Christian, half curser. Is what she said.
I like that.
Yep. And then I think the only other significant thing. Oh, I have softball stuff, but we had a tournament this past weekend. Won one, lost one. It's funny. I actually, I'm sitting there, and there's always softball drama on this travel team. Always softball drama. So I usually sit by myself, or I sit with my wife. Like, I don't really get involved in it,
right?
And
because you're just there to people watch.
Yes, and also
and Selena watch.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So like sometimes these motherfuckers they sit in a social spot where you can't even see the kids play. So I'm not gonna do that. Like, I'm here to watch the kids play only. Do
you think that they knew each other before?
Some of them did, but then some of them have become closer throughout this. But like they sit in a position where they can kind of glance over at the game, but like they'll be sitting behind like where all the bags and shit are, like in the dugout, like you can't see through them,
right?
So I sit further up, kind of.
Are they boozing too?
Some do.
Kind of cool.
Yeah. I don't hate that. So anyway, this one father like comes up behind me, so to speak, and starts talking to me. And I respond, and then we started carrying on a conversation about things. And then okay, now this other guy comes over, and now it's a social thing, right, where I'm at, which is fine. But so one thing about that, Laura took a picture of it from afar and then sent it to my family chat and was like, they've accepted Dad into the father group.
Now, do you think it was a planned thing? They're like, who's that guy over there? He never talks to us. And
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
You go up first.
Yeah, Tony, feel him out.
You so come up after that.
I have no idea. But so anyway, I think in the same breath that they expected me from then on out to like go sit in the huddle, and I'm not.
No, because you're not there for that.
I'm not there for that. I'm happy to talk if you want to sit over here.
Right.
But I'm not going to go sit over there because I can't see my kid play over there.
And without the kid playing, you wouldn't be there.
I wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like they almost feel a little betrayed, like I was part of the group, and then
they accepted.
They accepted me, but I didn't. I don't want the invitation. It's not that I don't want the invitation. Like I'm happy to chit chat with them, but it's just got to be on my terms, you know.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm navigating this little social minefield.
I can't wait to hear more.
Quite delicately. There's some other things in there that I'm not comfortable talking about because I've been down this road before where, like, you know, somehow in a year and a half, all the softball dads are listening to Nerd Rage and find this episode and hear this one thing that I have on my frontal lobe. But there are, you know, it's a lot of people. Like people's families comes, like it's a lot of fucking people, especially like on tournament day, grandparents, you know, whatever, siblings, the whole fucking.
So you're not going to invite any of them to Skullstus?
No.
What if you find out one of them is a collector?
Maybe. But like there's one person there that I'm like, and he's not there all the time, you know, only sometimes. But when I'm like, I'm not sure if you're a good person.
Oh,
you know, and I'm kind of dealing with that too because like I don't know if I want to spend my time. No, I don't have any hate towards this dude, but like I just don't know if I want to spend time around you because I think you might be a bad person. What else?
What's his kid like? Going down that path?
So I don't know. Talented. And I won't even say it's his kid, but the kid that he's connected to that brings him there is a talented player, you know. So, but they're all pretty good. One last thing that I did this week is I did a ton of reviews, but that wasn't what I was going to say. But I did.
Hopefully, all fans toys.
No fans toys this week.
Damn,
I know.
So I can skip these. Saturday's open now,
but I did do a fuck ton of reviews this week.
Saturday's not open.
No, Halloween party Saturday.
Yeah, my the last part of my costume is getting delivered today,
which I'm looking forward to. I can't wait. Anyway, what was I going to say? What is my? Oh, so I listened to this podcast. That's interesting. However, it's one of those where I'm like, oh man, this is above my, this is over my head. Like I am not smart enough. I don't have the knowledge.
What's the topic?
So I'm glad you asked. I'm going to read you the title.
Okay.
And and I'm going to try to do the name justice. At least I thought I was. Fuck. So it's this woman. I know. But she's actually pretty fascinating. She is a Jewish woman, French Jewish woman.
It's like my favorite three things.
And she fell in love, I'm guessing. I'm a little touch and go on that too. But fell in love seemingly with a Yemenese man.
Okay.
Ended up moving to Yemen, but while there, basically went in disguise as a Muslim woman.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up becoming a bit of a writer and becoming respected, and then being in certain circles. She ended up being the person of choice for the Ayatollah in Iran to write his autobiography, which is a bit of a, what do they call that? Like jumbo shrimp, like where the two words cancel each other out. But nonetheless, he was going to have someone write his autobiography for him and then say that he wrote it as like a ghostwriter. Mm-hmm. But that's how close she got inside these inner circles.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. Her name is Catherine Perez Shaktam, and she was there for years, and then eventually she said people started exposing her to military stuff, and that's when she was like, fuck, I'm in over my head. This information is actual power that they could fucking really want to kill me for. Backing out. And she started kind of trying to untangle herself from all of it, including divorcing her husband.
Really?
Yeah. And then she now lives in
Was he involved in?
So I don't think so. But it's hard for me to tell because the way that she talks about all these characters that I think
like a woman.
No, actually much more direct. But she talks about all this cast of characters in the Middle East, whether it's Yemen, talks about a lot of people in Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis.
The Houthis?
Houthis.
Yeah.
They have the worst name of all of them.
Yeah, the Houthis. Yeah, that's an interesting little subgroup of Iran.
So she met a whole bunch of these people, and
not the best company to get.
No, and she was aware. Yeah. You know, she was
so just like from the accidental drone strike kind of theory.
But it's fascinating. It's from a guy named the guy who hosts it, and I don't know anything about this. You know, if anybody's like that guy's a monster, you know, I apologize. I've only listened to the one episode. But it's called Catherine Perez Shaktam, the Jewish, and it's Shakdam is her last name, the Jewish woman who infiltrated the Iranian regime and tricked the Ayatollah.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a fascinating listen, and I'm curious about learning more about her kind of story. But she obviously has pretty strong opinions about that part of the world from her experiences there. But she said something truly fucking, and I don't want to get too in the woods in this shit because I understand the world that we live in. But she attended, and you know, I'm terrible with stuff like this, but it was like, I want to say it was like a Palestinian conference in 2017.
Okay.
She gave the website where you can find the transcript of it and everything else. This guy goes up there with information that he had, and he was like, look, in the next 5 years, there is going to be a significant attack on Israel that the Hamas is claiming will change the course of history in the Middle East. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, you know, in the last 20 years, you could probably have said that at any point.
It's a safe bet.
You know, like,
it's a safe bet.
Tensions are a little bit high.
But it's but it does ring true, as fate would have it. But it's a fascinating listen. She has a fascinating story, quite bright and sharp, and I was taken by her, like in a manner of speaking.
So like in the last couple of weeks, I rewatched the movie Argo.
Okay.
Did you?
Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
Just
trying to get him out after the overtaking the U.S. Embassy. I mean, that whole time period is really interesting, and like what our involvement as a country was in the Middle East and how much we kind of fuck shit up. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, all of that is all interconnected.
Yeah. Well, so they go into a little bit of that too. But yeah, there's like the phrase, like death to Israel, death to America, predates a lot of our involvement.
Well, to the Iranian side, maybe, but like just supporting Israel, right, from the beginning, and then the whole being in cahoots with Saudi Arabia, but not fully, and Iraq won. Like,
oh yeah, they hate the Saudis for sure,
and the whole thing is just intertwined, and it's like a minefield of like if you're trying to do like state planning, like if you feel like you have enough power that you can influence states, like it takes a special person to think that they can control that many factors.
Also, in that Palestinian conference, they talked about Russian learned shit that was going to be implemented by them to gain sympathy via social media.
Right. So, but that's the other part of it, right? As much as you're trying to manipulate states and do things like that, other people are trying to do the same thing on the other side. And like to ever think that we could manipulate an entire region of the world, and be effective, and there not be blowback or consequences, is just kind of crazy.
It's a complicated chess game that everybody's playing,
and like we did it in South America too. Mm-hmm. With the Contra deal and everything.
Like yeah, for sure.
And like we created cartels, and and it also, like, I'm not even sure that we're actually fighting a war on drugs. I think we're just fueling a war on drugs because it's a huge moneymaker for a bunch of people.
Has been, historically,
arms and
I mean, even funding for agencies,
prisons.
Yeah,
private prisons are a huge thing.
Yeah,
now.
Well, private prisons are on or have been declining since everybody was kind of against that one once that started getting out.
Oh no, there's still a bunch out there.
There's still a bunch out there, but if you look at where the trajectory of private prisons were headed, and they have tapered off because people are like, no, we're not going to make money off of fucking locking people up.
They're doing it right now with the ICE detainees.
Are they private prisons?
Well, they're contracted.
The prison, the ownership of them is contracted, or the building of them is contracted?
No, the running of them is contracted. So there's a bunch of companies that are making money hand over fist.
Instead of being, that's a dangerous fucking job.
And then they're not even providing all of the things that they say they will. They hire the detainees to do that at like slave wages. So like $1 a day to be the janitorial staff of the prison.
What were prisoners getting paid to like make license plates and all that?
I remember before something like $3 an hour or something. And it's crazy. And it's like, and then they build their own commissary in the prison and sell them things that they don't just give to everybody.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's true in all prisons. There's a commissary.
Yeah. But it's like, so you pay them less, you overcharge for the things that you're bringing from the outside. And then it just keeps them working, and
and I've
said weird feeling,
And it's also like the amount of, because like I do think that like, so like borders. I think borders in a country, if they matter, then they matter, right? But I think that in the same breath, we have allowed as a country ourselves to be so dependent upon, illegal immigrants or undocumented immigrants, however you want to classify it.
For the labor side? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then now some of the infrastructure is having to catch up with that, and I'm not sure that it can.
No, I mean, like, who, like, I don't want to go pick whatever produce,
No.
and but I also don't want to pay the prices for produce that it would take to hire
A union worker.
a $25-$30 an hour union worker to go pick
Yeah.
fucking corn. You know?
Yeah, so it's like I don't know, and I guess sometimes I reach these points in discussions where I get to like, and I don't know how to fix it, and,
No.
and then in my mind it goes, oh no, that's the problem, is that we don't know how to fix it.
Right.
And if I did know how to fix it, that would make me probably a genius.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, but it's also tough, like, you know, as like industries develop and change over time, like part of it has to be that we have to be proactively looking at like who is going to work and do that. Right? Because like we could create this thing that all of a sudden society needs, but we don't have the people that are going to do the thing. So then now we're like, how do we get that to happen? And,
Yeah.
and you run into some spots where you're willing to push your morals to the side a little bit or allow something to happen that you wouldn't normally let happen because it's integral to society.
yeah.
But you could have seen that coming.
Yeah. And there's things that I see like where I'm like, because I do my best to not like do like pick a side. Like
Right.
I do my best to take everything as it hits my plate, evaluate it on my own principles and morals and ethics, and then make a decision about it and move forward. And every now and then I check myself, like, are you still working properly?
Right.
You know, because like I'm not good with names, and I don't really do ethnic names in particular because I've slaughtered those to pieces. But the Israeli guy Ben.
Netanyahu?
Not going to work here anymore. Yeah. That
Bibi
like,
Netanyahu?
yes.
Yeah.
So, you know, like when they attacked Qatar shortly after the ceasefire, you know, Trump made that motherfucker call and apologize like a child. You know, and to me, I'm like, look, whether it means it or not, it's just like when you got kids, right? You got kids and one fucks up the other one's hair or whatever, you make them apologize. You know they don't mean it. But it's the principle of you got to do it in front of everybody. You know, and like I respect that. This shit with Qatar. But then in the same breath, when we're like talking about buying all this beef from Argentina, where I'm like, well, wait a minute. I thought the goal was to make more industry in America,
Right?
Not to, you know. So like, I just everything that hits my plate, I try to say like, do I fundamentally agree with this, or does this make sense to me, or not? Politics aside, right or left aside, you know, pro-Trump, anti-Trump, whatever the case may be, pro-Israel, pro-Palestine, whatever the case may be. If I remove myself from a red flag or a blue flag, how do I feel about this information?
Yeah.
You know,
And it's also an issue with like consistency too. Right? So like if we're going to, you know, now I talked to a buddy of mine who's much smarter with like economics and everything like that. And he's like, listen, man, like some of this stuff about trying to bring industry back is a good idea. And I was like, yeah, as long as there isn't too much pain between now and when the industry is back, right? But also, if you're going to reinforce the middle class, you have to do things that force corporations to beef up the middle class, which means pay increases, right? It means, you know, that we have to stop the rising house prices to the point that middle class people can't afford it. I know I just drove by this morning. I drove by $750,000 townhouses.
and not just the houses price, which I also agree with you on, but the goddamn interest rates.
Yeah, but it's all connected.
It's all connected 100%.
So it's like, you know, and it's tough to say what plan is going to work, right? But what will probably not work is 5 half instituted plans at the same time, right? So
I was talking to Jaina the other day, and this isn't political, this view. This is just comedy.
yeah, I'm trying to keep my
Yeah.
personal-
This is just comedy for me. Like I would say this about any candidate, anything. But I was watching this thing on Trump talking about. I think he might have been talking about the cattle, the farmers thing, and he was talking about how, like, you know, this is up more than it's ever been, and this is better than it's ever been, and all those sorts of things. And like, but he said something in there where he was just like, I've never seen anything like it. And I like just pressed pause on fucking, and I was like, look, man, for like a multimillionaire and a guy that's been president of the United States and a guy that's elderly, has been around the sun a few times, this dude has gone without a lot of life experiences.
Yeah.
Because everything this dude has ever seen, he's never seen anything like. Everything's the first.
And it's the best.
Yeah, it's like the first time he's ever seen anything like it ever. All of this shit is the first time.
And then you ask him other questions, and he's like, I don't know anything about that.
What we got Halloween coming up. What Halloween rituals did the Farrell household have growing up?
So my mother would black out drinking. So I guess this is normal.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that was specific to Halloween.
Yeah, but like it happened every Halloween that I remember.
Right.
So like I remember like my grandmother coming over, and maybe my aunt, and then like the three that my mother, my grandmother, and she's technically my great aunt, but she's like closer to my mom's age. Mm-hmm. Would all sit on the porch and drink and pass out candy.
My kids will have a very similar memory.
Yeah. Just hopefully less like trauma.
Yeah, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. But yeah, and then like I remember like my stepdad would go out with the group of kids. You know, like the dads would go out and the females would stay.
Huh.
So that was kind of interesting. And I don't know if that was just a product of they wanted to drink.
Yeah.
And, you know, gossip and do all that shit. Or if it was like a security kind of like.
Yeah, we'll face the world.
Yeah. Like we're gonna go walk in the neighborhood and everything. But like I was always kind of like, from all of the ones that I do remember, we were living in like suburbia, like proper suburbia. So like you didn't have to go out for long to come back with this like insane
proper bag
cash of just, you know, diabetes. So I remember it was always like talk about like privilege and shit. Like we'd go out for like 40 minutes and be like, well, I gotta go take this motherfucking bag back. I'm starting
it's too heavy.
Like dragging it across the fucking ground. Like, oh, it's just a Twizzler that came out. They're fine. It's fine. It's a little tiny Tootsie Roll. Nobody cares about that one.
Yeah.
And then like I, you know, talk to other kids because I went to a private school. So like the kids were from different neighborhoods, right? So kids came from up to like 40 miles away, and they'd be like, yeah, like, you know, I got a pretty decent bag of candy. And they'd bring out this like little tiny little bag, and I'd be like, I got a backpack full.
Yeah. And a fucking pillowcase.
Yeah. And this is the, what? It was like, this is only half of it.
Right,
you know?
right.
But yeah, like I was never really super into Halloween. But we always did that. So like from like 8 or 9 would go out for at least an hour, walk the neighborhood, get candy, come back. The females of the family would be at 90% in the bag at that point.
Right.
You know, you kind of eat the candy, hang out with the cousins and everything like that. And then, you know, they would all leave and whatever.
Yeah.
But no like real thing.
Yeah, my I
What about you?
well, I'm glad you asked. Run me through some costumes you had as a kid. See which ones we shared.
There was definitely like a couple of soldiers in there.
Okay.
Never. I think that was like the big like stereotypical one. Like never like a fireman, never a policeman. Definitely a couple of ghosts.
Just threw a sheet over your head.
Definitely a couple of ghosts that wouldn't pass as ghosts now. You know,
Too much starch in the sheet.
I do remember I had. So I lived over like King's Contrivance area.
Good pizza over there.
Yeah. And so I lived off Clock Tower Lane.
Okay.
Right. For a couple of years. And I remember I got this fake knife for Halloween one year that you could fill with the red dye. And like when you pushed it into somebody.
It injected the dye into the blade.
Right. And I remember I got in so much trouble because there was red dye on everything. I was like a fucking mass murderer with this thing. And then, like, I just came back and I'm like dripping with it. And they're like, it was only like a little 3-ounce bottle.
Right. But it got fucking everywhere.
And it was gone in like 20 minutes. I was like stabbing everybody on the fucking street. It was all over me. So it ended up all over like the fucking doorknobs and on the kitchen table. And, yeah, but so just like little stuff like that. And I think I was Freddy Krueger.
Oh, I was Freddy Krueger one year for sure.
I think that might have been like the last real one of my childhood. I was like 14 or
even putting your hand in that fucking claw.
Yeah.
It fucking feels good, man.
Yeah.
I have one that I bought like from this company NECA, and I said that way so that you wouldn't make a joke. And it has like real metal finger, like it's a proper one.
Right.
And like even at like 44 or 43, whenever I got that shit, when I put my hand in that motherfucker, I was like, oh fuck, dude. Like I've never held even like I've had handguns in my hand and everything else. I've never had a weapon in my hand that made me feel so empowered,
right,
as that fucking Freddy glove. There's something primal about that shit, man.
I mean, they can fuck some people up with that thing.
Dude, I've always talked about like character designs where the weapon is instantly accessible. It's a fucking thing, and it's fucking cool. Freddy's glove is always there. The weapon is always accessible. You don't have to reach into your belt like Batman to get it. You don't have to. That motherfucker is just on deck. And there's very few people.
Same thing as like Wolverine.
Same thing as Wolverine's claws. They're instantly accessible. They're right there whenever you need them. You know, like that shit makes a difference. I was a devil one year, a white devil.
Oh, white devil,
which is my favorite epitaph for my race as well.
Oh yeah.
Is it also empowering?
Very. Didn't have the right, the intended consequence.
No. I was like fucking wicked,
Hell
dude.
Yeah, dude.
You know, I've been called one to my face. Let's see what else. I was a ninja. Yep. I said I may have been a Japanese ninja warrior twice. Once was with like a costume bag, and once was like with a proper ninja suit, like a proper like let me tell you something. You ever donned a ninja suit? A proper ninja
like a
suit?
gi?
Yeah, like a proper one though.
I don't think so.
It's a fucking ordeal.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. Like as a kid, I was like, what fucking moron would go out and fucking do ninja shit and had to go through all this? And then as you get older and you understand Japanese culture and everything, you're like, oh, of course they have to go through all this. Like to put the boots on, it's not like a zipper. You know, it's similar to the chopstick in some ways, where it's like they know the fork exists, right? They just choose to do some extra shit, like you know, like it's like these boots have these like little tabs that go all the way and the tab has to like weave in and out of the boot to connect it, but it's a fucking ordeal.
But it doesn't come off easy.
No, it doesn't come off easy. Now the second one, but neither does the zipper. But the second, put a little button at the top. Good as gold. The second one is so the hood, like the ninja hood, it's really like a balaclava that goes on
baklava.
Yeah, baklava. It's a tasty slice of baklava that goes on your head.
I had a piece of baklava on Saturday.
Did you? How was it? Indianapolis baklava?
No. It was before.
Oh, okay.
It was good. Actually, there's a really cool deli just up the road from my house that. It was pretty good, but
across the street? No. Okay,
a little further. I mean, I'll tell you.
Yeah. So anyway, and then it's another hood that you put on top of it. Now that hood just sits baggy over top of the head. So in order to get it tight, you have to tie it, but it's one string. It's just one string
that runs throughout it.
You wrap it around your neck.
No, that doesn't seem...
I know. And then tie it back onto itself once you have the hood in place. Like, it's far more intricate than you would think, and yet also makes perfect sense. But anyway, I was a ninja twice. I'm trying to think. I was Batman. I was Joker. I was Penguin.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Might have been a turtle.
Yeah?
Like, way back.
Yeah, I buy that.
Way back. I have memories of, like, that... you remember in, like, the really early 90s, that foam. It was
the foam suit.
yeah.
And then like maybe the shell might have like a plastic or like a thing over top of it.
Yeah, and I just remember the foam coming out of that like the day after I wore it. It was fucking garbage, and it probably full of terrible things for you. And
Yeah, but I can't think about like I clearly remember the devil. I clearly remember joke. So Halloween for me, like I have a very traumatic history with my mother, but my mother loved fucking Halloween. And like it's my fondest memories of her as a kid is she would because she was actually a mom.
right,
Just for that month.
she enjoyed
For that month she was a
helping
mom.
make the costumes,
Yeah.
put it together.
When I was at school and I was Joker, she came into school and like did my makeup.
no shit,
You know, like so that I would like she gave a fuck, you know, about how my costume presented. And like she decked the house out like on the inside, similar to what I do. Like she decked it out, and she never did really shit for the outside. You know, and you know, I'd always be like, well, why don't you? Because my dad would put like candles in the windows, and she'd be like, well, like I'm not paying for this for everybody else. I'm paying for it for us.
but really for her.
Yeah, but it was for me too because I enjoyed the fuck out of it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if she didn't really enjoy it, then she wouldn't have given a fuck.
Yeah, for sure. But so my mom would do the trick or treating ritual. Like my dad would drop me off at my mom's house, and I'd walk around my mom and do trick or treating with her. You know, and
Did your dad give out candy?
he would give out candy if he was home. Sometimes he would work, or he worked for the fire department. He would do like they can trade shifts with each other. He might trade Halloween for Christmas or whatever.
Well,
like-
especially since he knew that you wouldn't be there.
right?
Yeah.
Because I was going to mom's.
That makes sense.
But then, like, it's similar to like when you start talking about like world history and how like these certain like chain of events just happen, and sometimes there's not like nefarious intentions. It's just that like a void is left here, so the void gets filled. So when my mom moved to like North Carolina when I was like in 6th or 7th grade, and I was like, oh fuck, like it's over, like it's fucking over. You know, like I remember getting off the phone. I could tell you where I was. Like I like cheered. You know, because I knew that her reign of terror had concluded for me, you know, in most regards. It changed shape. But then I started having Halloween at my dad's house. But my dad didn't do trick-or-treating with me. It like wasn't
Right.
part of his game plan.
And he also didn't know what you were expecting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He might be like, oh, yeah, Bob likes this stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to do it. I
Right.
don't know what he's expecting.
Yeah.
I don't know. What
and
the
now
whole-
for 13 years, I haven't,
Right.
you know. So hit the streets with my friends.
Well, I mean, that was the interesting part too. Is like I said, you know, somewhere around the time of like leaving King's Contrivance and going into Lower Elkridge and everything, like that was like the 15, 16 point where like I wasn't going out with the fucking young cousins and doing all
Right.
that stuff. It was, you know, I don't remember doing anything like toilet papering anybody's house.
Yeah.
We did it once or twice, but it was specific. There was a reason.
Right. It wasn't random. Yeah.
Yeah.
This lady, I'll never forget this poor lady in my neighborhood. We knocked on the door. She handed out apples.
Bitch.
And like as soon as she closed the door, like the fucking apples lit her fucking house up, you know?
That's what you get.
Yeah. Trick or treat, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like you had an option.
We
in
told
this
you
shit.
about it.
You had an option.
We gave you the
Yep.
two choices in the
Yep.
beginning.
You made your choice.
Yeah.
You know, there's a responsibility on your end too. I also remember I was listening to another podcast recently, and they were talking about they don't fuck with Halloween, right? And they were saying how like, you know, people put shit all in the candy, and like I do remember that.
I remember hearing about it,
I've never seen like
and it doesn't make any sense to me.
no. I wonder if there's any truth to it. You keep talking. I'm gonna AI that.
So when they said, you remember when they said like people were putting LSD in the sweet tarts,
Yes.
right? And I think like if I had a bunch of LSD, would I be giving that shit out to kids?
Right. Exactly.
That shit's not. I mean, it's not hard to acquire. It's not super expensive, but it's not super cheap.
Yeah.
And if I enjoyed doing it, why the fuck would I just want a bunch of high kids and not like in front of me, right? We're not talking about like you go to the beach and you give a bunch of laxatives to the pigeons and watch them shit on people. Like the kids will be home by the time the trip sets in.
Yes.
So you're just, it's a real Joker kind of move.
Yeah,
Right? It's
yeah.
mayhem that you don't even
Chaos.
that you don't even get to experience and kind of like relish in. So I think all of that was fear mongering. I don't think it was actually real.
So it says here, poisoning candy during trick-or-treating in the 80s is largely a myth, with virtually no evidence of a child being killed or seriously hurt by a stranger. The panic was fueled by hoaxes and incidents where family members, not strangers, poisoned candy, and a few confirmed cases were either hoaxes or deaths from other causes that were misattributed to candy contamination.
That makes sense.
There is no evidence to support the widespread fear the strangers were poisoning candy.
Like
Sociologists...
razor blades and the apples.
That sociologist Joel Best has studied candy tampering since 1958 and found no confirmed cases of a child being killed or seriously hurt by candy from a trick-or-treat experience. Real incidences. The one fatality from poisoned Halloween candy involved a man, Ronald Clark O'Brien, who gave cyanide-laced candy to his own son in 1974, motivated by an insurance policy. This was not a case of a stranger poisoning candy. The panic in the 80s was exasperated by copycat incidents following the 1982 Chicago Tylenol murders, even though the Tylenol case involved tampered medications in stores, not trick-or-treat candy. Hoaxes or pranks. Most reports of needles or razor blades found in Halloween candy have been debunked as hoaxes, often perpetrated by children trying to get attention. Media coverage of the few real cases of tampering amplified the perception of danger. The fear of stranger danger during the 1980s was already high, and these stories just intensified it. Makes perfect sense.
Makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. But yeah, so when I was a kid, when we would go out for... and we always watch Halloween shows. Like we had these like one VHS tape in my mom's house of like, you know, the fucking the night the witch saved Halloween, same fucking shit. And after trick or treat, we'd all come back and we'd dump our candy on the floor. My mom would inspect it, you know, go through it, and like every now and then you see those candies that were like twisted up. They were like no name brand shit, and like, you know, those got tossed in the trash. Nobody cared because nobody wanted that bullshit anyway. And then
dollar store bullshit.
yeah. and then the flea market would begin, where like, okay, my brother likes Milky Ways, this brother likes Three Musketeers, I like Twix, and you know, you start like moving the shit around.
Wall Street floor.
Yeah. And it's funny because in my own home, a lot of those traditions still stand the test of time. Like my house is decked out for Halloween inside. It's you know, we watch the shows, we do the Wall Street trick or treating. You know, my kids go out with my wife usually, and you know, I hang out on the porch and drink and give kids a hard time about candy. But just to instill the tradition of the social contract of you say trick or treat and you get candy.
Right.
But yeah, it was just Halloween was always a fucking blast for me, and it was always like a peacetime, like the ceasefire. It was a ceasefire at my mom's house.
Now, when you were of age to consume alcohol, but pre-children, right? Did you ever go to any adult Halloween themed like bar parties?
So I never went to any bar parties. I went to a couple of adult Halloween parties. House parties. And
they can get weird.
Yes. Well, okay. I'm going to talk a little bit about this. This is one of those private ones I haven't.
And just so everybody knows, I didn't know this story was coming. I don't think I know this story.
No. So
this isn't a scripted podcast.
I can tell you the exact year.
Okay.
2007.
What was I doing in 2007? I was in Georgia.
So I had just gotten out of the educational element of training of my job. I'm sitting high on the horse. I'm loving life. Everything is finally working out for me. A friend of mine says, hey, you guys are into Halloween, which I am. Super into Halloween. Love it. You know, all that shit. That's another thing I should talk about before I get to this is my mom would also do, as I got older and started aging out of like costumes and that kind of stuff, my mom would incorporate me into the giving out candy, but always in like some wild ass way, like jumping out of a coffin or whatever, like in the house, like
keep it fun for you.
Yeah. And then one year she did a haunted house inside my house where like people walked kids through my house, like in a loop around my house and out the
shit.
Yeah. And like I was like one of the monsters in the house, and there was this old dude who went through there and pissed his pants. Like we had to have the carpets cleaned and everything, like because the shit was fucking scary. It was
like, get into carpet cleaning.
Yeah, that's how I got into it. Yeah. So anyway, a buddy of mine, everybody knows I love Halloween. A buddy of mine was like, hey man, I'm not into Halloween. I don't do costumes, which was true. All of this was true. And he was like, but I have an exclusive invite to like a costume party. And it's for adults. There's open bar. He's just saying all the magic words, right? I'm just finishing my training for my job. I'm starting my new career, like
ready to cut loose a little bit.
Ready to cut loose, like
bring back the Halloween spirit.
Yeah, it's an adult, no kids allowed. They made that very, very clear to me. So my wife and I went as vampires. And still to this day, I have. So this backdrop on my phone.
Oh, that's that.
Is that night before we left the house. Anyway, so we got to it was addressed, the whole thing. We get there, knock on the door, get inside this large house, Pennsylvania somewhere.
Okay.
And
I already don't like it.
Yeah. Talk about it. We get in there, and it's 100% a swingers party.
Oh, makes sense to not bring kids.
It was, and this guy that forwarded this, and like when we go upstairs, don't bring it up because I'm not supposed to be talking about this type of shit. He is known to be a bit of a OP, original prankster. And anyway, I'm going to leave it here. We didn't get crazy,
right?
But we didn't leave. We stuck around for a little bit just to.
I feel like you can't if you make that journey.
It was worthwhile. It was worthwhile hanging around. What was interesting, it was a far older crowd than what we were.
So you're at this point you're
26,
20, mid 20s. So they were like what, mid 40s
at their earliest.
Oh, even more interesting.
Yeah, and we were definitely the young meat, so to speak.
So you were the.
We had
talk of the party.
We had a lot of people coming up to us.
Apple of many people's eyes.
Of Sodom. We had a lot of people making small talk with us that night. Wanted to know how long we've been together and lots.
How long you've been in the old swinging world.
We had never met a stranger that night.
Right.
Yeah.
I went to a couple of bar parties. But it's weird. It's like because part of you as a young single man during Halloween, since most of the female costumes have the word slutty in them, right? So it's like you think like, oh man, like we're gonna go out and get some fucking pussy, and my experience at the bar parties was like it was never really the pussy you wanted.
I don't really have like I did the bar scene for a bit. But I don't really have those types of bar stories.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's I'll leave that.
So I'll tell you this. So Selena has like a very good friend, and they're growing up, right? They're reaching teenage years. Everything that comes with that is coming with that, right? And they've always gone trick-or-treating together. They've been witches. They've been princesses. They've been whatever. And I'm like, so I was like, well, what do you guys want to do this year? What are you guys doing this year? And Selena was like, she wants to be a cop and a robber. And I was like, let me take a guess as to who is going to be who in this scenario. And I love this girl. Like, I love her. Like, she's part of my family, but I think she's not running full speed into teenagedom,
but she's on the path.
But she's definitely on the path. And she's looking at her feet. So her head is down a little bit. She just hasn't started running yet. And I was like, she's going to be the cop, I suspect. And she said, yeah, how'd you know? And I was like, just an inkling.
Right.
And then and I was like, well, how do you feel about it? And she's like, I don't want to be a robber. And I was like, okay, what do you want to do? She was like, well, I want to be Elmo in Cookie Monster.
You're like, another year. I got another year.
So anyway,
you find out what Elmo's wearing.
Well, so then that's what I started talking about. I started having this conversation. I didn't think she could hear me, and I started saying, I was like, stuff like that's cool because like, it'd be really difficult to like slut out Elmo. And then she overheard it. She's like, why would you slut out Elmo?
Maybe 2 years.
which was pretty great. So anyway, I have the Halloween party coming up on Saturday, 2 days from the day we're recording this. My costume is theoretically all here, accounted for. The wig is it's the best it's gonna get. It's not perfect, but it's better than I ever hoped that it would be.
I was impressed with it.
Yeah. A lot of people have hit me up for that video footage. I will say this. I know the Instagram page where it would be posted.
And it's not there yet.
It's not there yet. My guess is Halloween, but we'll see. And
so I just want to give myself a little credit.
Yeah.
I haven't told a soul.
That's true. Actually, one time I thought you had forgotten because I told you earlier, and then we were in a social setting somewhere else, and you were like, "Can I take a guess?" And you guessed. I think you guessed Vincent from Pulp Fiction, if memory serves.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. But in my head, I was like, does he not remember that
I didn't want anybody there to.
Yeah. No, it was a really smart play, but
if they know that I know, then they're going to start asking me questions, and that increases the amount that I can slip up.
Yep. So I'm looking forward to it. It's always a good time. I'll try to, update you guys with pictures and everything. It's not, my face isn't covered in this year's costume, so I'll only be able to do so much, but I'm looking forward to it. It's usually a good fucking time. And it's also like, it's largely a work party now. It's changed over years. Like it used to be mainly my friends, like that I grew up with. Mm-hmm. And then it changed into like a blend of my friends and work people. And then the work people sort of took a step back from it for a while. And it was like a blend of my friends and like the DMH community, Skullface community people. And now they have kind of taken a step back. And my friends have lost most of them along the way. So now it's like pretty much a work party with like a little sprinkling of friends and a little sprinkling of nerd people. And but it's good because it's like it feels good to have like a thing. I have like there's another party that we go to in the summer, and like he's got a thing, and it's a reason for everybody to get together, and it doesn't feel forced, it doesn't feel contrived, it feels like
talking about the
Boar Bash.
Yeah.
And like, so it's nice to be able to gather everybody together and cut loose. And I love that when people come in costume, there's always that one layer of defense that's already been removed. Like where the social lubricant is already in play because you look like a fucking idiot.
Right.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to it too, because that's another night I get to drink.
Yeah. And I think there's going to be basically a fucking frat house down here from my understanding of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to scoop out my couch early.
Yeah, set it up. A couple notes, nothing really crazy. R.I.P. Ace from Kiss.
Yep.
And
never really a Kiss fan.
No, me neither. But Trailblazer.
Yeah, and I get it.
Yeah, and a big. I was gonna ask. I had to think about it. Was Kiss the first anonymous rock group?
I couldn't name an earlier one, but yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, like is it that from that tree that we get? Your Slipknot, your Sleep Tokens, your whatever.
Right.
It's interesting. And then there's this thing that Lestat dropped a teaser, but I couldn't find the actual teaser.
Yeah, I started watching the videos because that's one of those dumb pages that have like ads
all through it.
And I ended up watching like 30 ads, and I'm like, was that the teaser? I don't fucking understand.
Hold up, I found it. I'm going to pause it real quick. And what an awful trailer.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fucking awful. I was interested because I like the idea of those Anne Rice books. I don't know much about them. I love Interview with the Vampire, but like I don't want anything to do with this shit now. Not even remotely interested.
It's like, are you expected to know who the characters are before?
Maybe they're counting on that from the Queen of the Damned movie, and
it just felt like a season 3 trailer.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm like,
and
I don't know who these people are. I'm like, okay.
All the montage shit, like just tell me.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to give me a montage. Tell me what I should expect from your show. I have no idea what that show is about.
Just give me a cool 30-second scene.
Yeah. I was going to talk a couple more things about Halloween since we're on the Halloween topic. This is your first Halloween episode. What's your favorite? Give me top 5 horror movies.
So I'm not a huge horror film. So horror films are too or maybe even more categories from it,
To me, it's 3.
right? So there's the slasher,
There's the slasher,
there's the
paranormal.
supernatural paranormal
Yep,
side,
and then there's the monster.
and then there's monster. And then like, so Scream,
Slasher.
right, was definitely like in my wheelhouse for like, that was just right for my age, right?
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street, I watched that. Well, so I've already said what my least favorite one was.
Which one?
That's the Leprechaun.
Oh,
Because my grandfather made me watch that way too young, and I was scared as shit.
yeah.
So like Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, like I remember watching that and being scared of it like it was a supernatural thing, but it was a monster movie.
Or I mean, that one kind of dabbles in all,
Right.
because it's like part slasher, part monster, part supernatural.
Right.
You know, it kind of that it kind of blends the 3.
But to me, it's like, it's more of a monster movie.
I think that's fair. But in my head, I think I see it more of a slasher movie. I don't think you're wrong for that point of view, because he is a monster. So he
Right.
comes to you in your dreams and everything else. Like, there's that supernatural element to it that's unhuman, right? Most slasher movies, it's a human villain.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I get it.
And then like, would you throw in like Final Destination category of that? I liked the first one, like the premise of it. I think they went way too far with that series. But I was always more interested in the supernatural
Same.
scare, like the
That's
legitimately.
That's the part that's the only one that unnerves me.
Yeah. So like, and I even go to say like, what's the one with Keanu Reeves as an angel?
Oh, Constantine? No.
Constantine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like stuff like that.
Based on a comic book.
Yeah. But so like, those ones are the ones that
A Vertigo comic book with the adult theme books that we're talking. So yeah, a Vertigo. Yeah.
So those are the ones that I like the most, because slashers to me just, like
They're my least favorite.
yeah, and like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like the whole trope of like they fall down, they hide behind something, somebody sneezes or farts or kicks a lamp or knocks a coin over, like
The tropes, yeah.
it's just
But I do think that of those, like, to me, like, Texas Chainsaw is one of the more interesting ones. It's like The Hills Have Eyes. There's like,
well, so The Hills Have Eyes was another one of those like kind of crosses over into this supernatural kind of, because you're like, what are these people?
yeah, but there's a science to explain it, right?
Right.
So like, but I like, to me, like that like those like, and maybe it's just ignorance on my part, right? But it's like for Chainsaw Massacre, it's like, oh, backward hillbilly people are capable of this behavior,
Right. It's believable.
Yeah. You know,
And then like we watched one. It was like Gomez and me and I think maybe Melina was there. We watched one of like she like lived underground. Were you there to watch that with us? So she's like living underground and like she had these weird nipples and she was like
that sounds scary already.
abducting people and making them act like a baby to her, and she was like huge.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'd have to find it again. I don't even know where we were watching. We were watching it on the one TV that has all the stuff on it. So but like stuff like that where it's like you're wondering like what caused this, what it like, is that a human, like is it some science experiment, like
Yeah.
like The Fly?
The Fly. That's just, The Fly to me is the greatest monster horror movie ever made.
Like I like stuff where it's not just person loses control, starts murdering people.
Right. Yeah, my stuff, like I like The Exorcist is my number one. Like that movie fucks with me on a primal level.
I mean, also maybe one of the most quotables.
Yeah, certainly. certainly. And there's a lot in there.
That crucifix.
Yeah, may Jesus fuck me. And of course, your mother sucks cocks in hell.
Hell yeah,
the famous one. And around here, every now and then, I need to be careful because that movie freaks my wife out, and even Jana, that makes her sick to her stomach sometimes thinking about it. But I'll be like, "Help me, Demi, Demi, help me, Demi." So, do you know what she did? Your cunting daughter.
Yeah, cunting.
The Others. You ever seen that? Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one gets my goat a bit. What else?
There was
The Shining.
The Shining's great. But that's supernatural.
Yeah.
And then there was one, they were on a spaceship.
Aliens.
No. Were they, God, what was that?
Leprechaun in space.
That might have existed.
Oh, it did. I'm pretty sure.
And the idea of that is terrifying.
Jason went to space too.
Fucking right. I can't remember the name of that fucking movie. But they ended up seeing people that were like, I don't know. I have to look that one up.
Huh.
But that one was like legitimately scary.
Yeah. The Exorcism of Emily Rose, I think, is scary. And I think that's scary for a different reason, like just because it takes place like mostly in a courtroom.
Yeah.
Somehow makes it scarier for me. And then like I think for like I haven't really been like unsettled by a movie.
Event Horizon.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But like I haven't really been unsettled by a movie in some time. Like The Others might have been the last one to really unsettle me, where I'm like, I don't feel safe right now after watching this movie.
Yeah, and like, so this isn't a Halloween or a horror movie, but movies that unsettled. Requiem for a Dream.
Oh yeah,
is always at.
Well, I mean, Terminator 2 unsettles me for a very different reason, especially these days.
Yeah, but talking about like just like feel it, like having like a primal feeling about something that you're watching.
Yeah,
like that one always fuck with me.
Yeah,
agreed. To the point that I've only seen it twice.
Oh really? Yeah.
I've watched scenes. I've watched scenes from it. You know, from somebody being like, "Hey, what about this?" And you watch it again, and then I go, like, "Yep, there's a reason why I don't watch that fucking movie."
Yeah, that movie's out for blood. And then my other question I always ask for like horror, and then I have one more story to tell is, if you're going to build your slasher Mount Rushmore, what 4 go on it? And I ask this because to me, 3 are no brainers. It's always the 4th that gets tricky.
Freddy, what's his name with the fucking hockey mask?
Jason.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
So I say Mike Myers. I say those 3 are like, but the tricky one is that 4th one.
Yeah, because it could be what's the name from Texas Chainsaw Massacre? It could be the Scream
Leatherface.
Mask. Yeah, Leatherface.
Scream.
Could be the Scream mask.
And I think Pinhead is in that conversation also.
Yeah, well, Pinhead's in that conversation for people about our age and older.
Yeah.
But it's not in there for anybody else.
Yeah. That's fair.
Because like I remember the Pinhead character walking Blockbuster. And just the fucking cover of that VHS and being like, what the
Something's not right with this shit.
Right? And my parents being like, you're not old enough for that one. I'm like, when am I going to be old enough for that one?
Yeah.
Motherfucker's got nails in his goddamn head.
Dude, the last thing I want to talk about this, like in the Halloween vibe, there was a board game, played it at my mother's house. I think my cousins actually brought it over. It's gone through some changes over the years, but it was called Nightmare.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, Don't Wake Daddy.
It was called Nightmare, and it was fucking great. So you got this board out, opened it up, you get a gravestone, and in that gravestone is a number that you also pick out of a black velvet bag. Now, each gravestone is a different color, and everybody has a different number. You start at start. The goal is to work around. You got to like land on certain things to get these keys.
Okay.
Once you have obtained your 6 keys, you can go into the center of the game, unlock the door of the gatekeeper, and you're done, right?
You win.
But while you do this, you put in a VHS tape at the same time.
Oh,
You turn the lights all the way down, volume all the way up, and there's a gatekeeper that is talking to you in the game.
I do remember either this game or because this style of game was wildly popular in the mid '90s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he would come on and he would be like, you whose number is red, answer me, and you'd be like, yes, my gatekeeper, and it'd be like, what is the such and such, and like if you didn't know it, and your opponents keep you accountable.
Right.
You either had to turn in a key sometimes, you had to go back so many spaces, you had to lose a turn, whatever the case may be. And the goal was to kind of get all the keys and unlock the gatekeeper before it was, you had an hour to play.
Because that's as long as the tape was.
But yes, but the closer you get to the end, the more frequently he starts popping up, and as he's popping up, he's losing. Like at first, he looks like kind of a man with dark circles under his eyes and like a hood, but by the end, he looks like a complete monster, And then there were sequels to it, and the sequels you just bought like an upgrade kit, so you still kept the board and everything else, but now it's like a new video, some new cards to pick from that like gave you prompts and shit. And one was because each gravestone represented a character in the game that was like part of the lore of the game. I don't know why I have a memory for this shit, but it was Baron Samedi the zombie.
Jesus Christ.
He hosted the...
Did you play last night?
He hosted the second game, and then there was Elizabeth Bathory. She was the witch, and I think she was the third game, and then there was supposed to be a fourth, or Elizabeth Bathory was the vampire, but you played the witch. Whoever the witch was the third game.
I thought you knew this shit.
Yeah, I know. I'm such a poser. And then
Pull
anyway...
your field guide out. You don't have to memorize everything.
They were never able to get the fourth one off the ground.
Uh-huh.
It rebooted years later under a new name called Atmosphere,
With a DVD player.
which was Atmost Fear, of course.
That's actually the one I think I had.
Okay. And then that one I think had a DVD player that went along with it. Like but it was such a fun fucking game.
Yeah.
That's another thing that's kind of lost. And I'm going to put it in my notes for a discussion, but like like the novelty board game era is also another thing that's like kind of over. Recently, I was just scrolling through Facebook novelty board games, and I saw this game that I remember from the 80s. I think it was the 80s, but it was called like Escape from Volcano Mountain or something.
I used to play it all the time.
Yeah, that sort of shit is non-existent anymore. It's like just the classics, which are great. But
I used to have a friend group that played it as adults.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a shame. I wish they would come back. I'm going to try to bring back Nightmare too.
So there's also this weird thing of like, if you look now, there's not many family-oriented games for like young adults or like teenagers and the parents, right? Like the Candylands are still out there, fucking Monopoly's still out there,
right?
But like, I think that the purpose of that game was to get 13-year-olds to have fun with their parents and play a game. And
I guess it's all we're relying on video games probably mostly now.
Well, they just don't see the value in it.
Or that.
Let
me make sure we didn't have any questions. If you want to send a question in, that's the wrong pad. Hold on one second. It's Halloween. It's supposed to give you a little scare.
You can email us at nerdrageradiomail@gmail.com.
Shout out to Chris and Joey, both of whom are on assignment this week, and shout out to Marilyn Phil on our notes and on Twitter, and Dante on Facebook, and I'll be seeing most all of them over the course of the next couple weeks. And with that,
moist size.
tight dick player.